Hey, this is Pastor Jay Lee wishing you a happy new year from the Daily Sabbath podcast. The Christmas series, Epilogue. Luke chapter 2, verses 41 through 52. Every year, Jesus' parents went to Jerusalem for the festival of the Passover. When he was 12 years old, they went up to the festival according to the custom. After the festival was over, while his parents were returning home, the boy Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem, but they were unaware of it. Thinking he was in their company, they traveled on for a day. Then they began looking for him among their relatives and friends. When they did not find him, they went back to Jerusalem to look for him. After 3 days, they found him in the temple courts, sitting among the teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. Everyone who heard him was amazed at his understanding and his answers. When his parents saw him, they were astonished. His mother said to him, "Son, why have you treated us like this? Your father and I have been anxiously searching for you." "Why were you searching for me?" he asked. "Didn't you know I had to be in my father's house?" But they did not understand what he was saying to them. Then he went down to Nazareth with them and was obedient to them. But his mother treasured all these things in her heart. And Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man. Beyond the Christmas story, we don't really hear much about Jesus growing up. Perhaps he really wasn't like a kid at all. Did Jesus run around and play? Did he laugh and climb trees or scrape his knees? Did he cry? Or was he always on some higher plane, looking like a child but never really being one? In a rare glimpse of Jesus' childhood, we see a 12-year-old Jesus who seems to embody both. A festival observance of Passover had brought Mary, Joseph, and their clan to Jerusalem. However, after they traveled a day's journey back towards home, they realized that Jesus was not with them. As a side note, this story is almost exactly like Home Alone. It really is a Christmas story. They search for 3 days before they find him in the temple. You know when you're really in trouble and your parents use your full name? I imagine it was something like that when they found him. "Jesus, son of Joseph, what are you doing here?" But even as a child, people saw glimpses of the unusual wisdom and authority in him, amazing the people in the temple with his questions and answers. Yet, it also tells us that Jesus grew. He grew in stature and wisdom and favor with God and man. He needed to develop and mature just like any other child over time. And so your reflection for today is this. As we move beyond the Christmas season, let us, like Jesus, progress from the manger to maturity and grow in wisdom and stature and favor with God and man in this new year. The closing song for this episode, "It Never Gets Old," is by Demara Melissa. You'll find a link for more of Demara's music in the episode description. If you're enjoying the podcast, please consider leaving us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, or you can buy Pastor Jay a cup of coffee. For more Daily Sabbath content, please follow us on Instagram at Daily Sabbath.
On that day never gets old. What can we do that's never been done before? But lift our praise in humble gratitude for the King who saves. Tell me again how divinity came down, wrapped himself in flesh so I could walk in freedom now. Tell me again, oh, no matter how many times I'm told, this story never gets old. You made a way. You took my sin. Death has no power. Tell me again, oh, tell me again how divinity came down, wrapped himself in flesh so I could walk in freedom. And now tell me again how a baby's cry pierced the darkness and made angels shout, oh, holy night. Tell me again, oh, no matter how many times I'm told, this story never gets old. This story never gets old. It never gets